Top 10 cars you never knew Cosworth worked on. Number 10. TVR Griffith. When TVR revealed the brand new Griffith, dressed in an enticing two-door coupe body designed to homage classic models from across history, it seemed like they were going back on all concessions. However, these hardliners have made some exceptions when power steering and ABS comes standard equipment along with traction control. The new Griffith will take you places and do things that a TVR has never done before. The Cosworth modified 5-liter Ford Coyote V8 is capable of generating 500 horsepower, giving this bad boy enough power to top 200 miles per hour. Get ready for your next adventure with the ultimate driving machine from Britain's most powerful roadster company, the Titus Motor Company. Unfortunately, it's getting held back in production again due in late 2022, but don't worry, because they're just getting started on these incredible machines. When the new Griffith was revealed on 8 September 2017 at Goodwood Revival, it came with a bang. The TVR mark had been around for 70 years, and to celebrate this milestone they commissioned Gordon Murray, who is famous for his work designing race cars like McLaren F1 or Ford GT, to create an anniversary model that would be capable of running 1/4 mile non-stop without any problems. It features Cosworth modified 5-liter V8 engine producing 500 bhp, 507 PS, 373 kilowatts, double wishbone suspension adjusted by coilovers, dampeners, carbon fiber ground effect chassis, which makes. When the COVID-19 pandemic hit, it caused production of TVR's new Griffith car to stall. The company was then plagued by funding problems and damage done during its time under development, which resulted in Evo reporting that deliveries would not start until at least late 2023 or early 2024, over 2 years after they were originally expected. However, thanks largely due an investment partnership between Sorta Automotive Group, which owns Italian tuning house Polski VW, this issue has been resolved, giving us hope we'll see these beautiful cars sooner rather than later. Number 9. Benetton Ford B194. The great Michael Schumacher is one of the most successful Formula One drivers in history with 7 world titles to his name. He first competed at age 23, but it would take him until 1991 before he found success driving for Benetton Racing, where they managed both drivers and constructors championships in 1994 and 1995. The 1994 season saw a confrontation between two great racing teams, with one team using an engine powered by Ford and the other running on Cosworth. In spite of having less power than its competitors, Cosmos used V10s, while Benetton ran 3 5-liter dual turbocharged cylinders. Driver Michael Schumacher managed to score 8 victories during that campaign, including his ultimate title win at Australia's Grand Prix, which let him down under as well, winning many races there previously, before coming back for more performances after being away from top-level competition due injuries sustained performing calisthenics. The F1 car of 1994 was a light and nimble machine that handled well. Most importantly, it's capable on twisty tracks. This is due, in part, because the new rules banned electronic driving aids from previous seasons, which made this season much more difficult for Williams drivers, who were relying heavily upon them with little success until Michael Schumacher took over his wet weather qualifying sessions, where he would usually finish 3rd or 4th before crashing out during races, thanks again to bad luck rather than anything else, including cars. Number 8. Lotus Cortina. When Lotus needed a new engine supplier, they turned to Cosworth and their famous tuning company. With help from Keith Duckworth, the tandem cam Ford Kent series was tuned for better performance in 1962's Elan cars that would later be known as Cortinas, sporting horsepower numbers like 105 until 1968, when it switched over production models at Jaguar. Gamesa Corporation also involved with sports car racing during this time period. Englishman Colin Chapman commissioned an entire family tree off-road related vehicles, including trucks. The first Ford Cortina Mka'i GT was homologated in 1963, a car designed to compete with the best of Europe's exotics. It had been just over 1 year since Britain lost its world championship for cars larger than 1,500cc, and during this time many changes were taking place within Team Lotus. John Player bought control from Fanshooter Company Limited. Jay published their new Formula One racing team, which included Graham Hill as driver. Colin Chapman made plans on how best use his newest invention, the airplane engine, to power said vehicle. In addition, there were 2 other significant events happening around England at Oulton Park Gold Cup, where 3 different makes took part, including Jaguar's 3-liter behind each. The Cortina is a well-known car in America for its success transom racing. Canadian-born Australian Alan Moffat shocked the outright class cars with his win at Round 3 of inaugural Series 1966 held near Loudon, New Hampshire on facility known as Briar Motorsports Park. A few years ago I came across this little gem while doing some research about auto competition around here, so naturally we had to take it out back and dust off those old tires. Number 7. Ford RS200. The Ford RS200 was a Group B rally car that turned into an all-wheel drive supercar slayer. The regulations required 200 of these insane coupes to be made available for public consumption, but instead only about 100 were produced, and it came with one simple approach from Europe's finest automaker: start off by creating custom chassis designed around mid-engine layout before handing over engine's responsibility onto someone else who can take care of them better than us, Fords. Filling in this void? A 4-cylinder lump running either 1.8 V2 or two 4-cylinder turbochargers boosting output up to 250 horsepower, perfectly capable at taking on whatever road conditions may come its way. The Ford Atlas is a car that was built to FIA Group B standards. This means it had at least 200 road-legal vehicles, and the company constructed these with spare parts for 20 more cars designated as racing teams' homologation specials, but they also used some of their stock in Bittersox Tuning, a tuning firm, or Goldstadt Propeller Company Limited. Afterward, these chassis were all put into production by either. Doing build jobs on them specifically meant just as BITSA models without any sorts certification from motorsports governing bodies such. However, most people know what kind, if vehicle this would be because its inception led directly off course during major competition. The 24 original cars that were converted to Evo models usually have an E2 or lower series number, but car owners can also identify them by their uniquely designed front bumpers which look similar in design as the original ones. The first intention for Ford was mark these vehicles up until FIA required 20 extravaganzas, 20+1, like this one pictured here on plate PR3 with yellow background color, before deciding against it because rules said they didn't need any more than 21 racing goons. So now all 21 are designated solely under 1 through 220, even though there may be no difference whatsoever between each individual. The original bodywork tooling for the Ford RS200 was later bought by Banham Conversions, who used it to make a kit car version based on Austin Maestro. Due to being basic rebody of that vehicle, and also having its engine at front end which is similar as well, but not exactly same like other cars, so there are some differences between both models such as headlights position etc. You can find more details here. Number 6. Mercedes-Benz 190E Evolution 2. The Cosworth-powered Mercedes 190E was an undoubtedly sleek, sexy car that took the world of motorsports by storm. The vehicle's engineering prowess and luxurious interior made it perhaps one most desired cars in all creation for its time period, even if few people could have predicted just how successful this humble entry would eventually become. The Mercedes-Benz 190E Evolution 2 was born from DTM regulations and had to be equipped with wider wheels, arches that lowered the front spoiler as well huge rear wing. It also came equipped with hot 2.5-liter 16-valve straight-4 engine which cranked out 232 horsepower at 7,200 RPM resulting in a maximum speed of 155 miles per hour. The 190E 2.5-16 Evolution 2 was shown at the Geneva Auto Show in 1990, and its success led to a 502-unit production before it even went on sale, 500 examples painted Blochwer's blue-black metallic. This car retailed for 136 Mark 720, but numbers 501 and 502 were special editions Astral Silver, making them one of rarest models within this series with short run during production starting dates 1990-1991 ending periods respectively. In March 1988 Mercedes presented their latest edition, an extensively remodeled version called Selector. The name translates roughly as choosing, which seemed appropriate because customers had plenty to choose from when deciding. Number 5. Audi RS4 B5. What's an RS4 without all those extra badges and tweaks? Nothing. Every inch of the exterior is designed to show off your status as a high-end buyer, from subtle aerodynamic improvements that give you lower fuel consumption rates than before, and maybe just enough kitty cat washboard action for even greater efficiency, to specially tailored interior trim pieces meant exactly how we want them, big time. The RS4 ditched the inline 5-cylinder turbo motor of its predecessor, opting instead for a Cosworth modified 2.7-liter V6 with alloy heads that sport larger intake ports augmented by two Borg-Warner K04 turbos which launched it to 60 miles per hour within 4.9 seconds. The RS2 was an ultra-limited version of the Audi A8 that only came in Europe. However, its mass-market performance wagon cousin sold 60,330 units during 2 years on sale across Asia and Latin American regions as well as home country Germany. The 1999 B5 RS4 Avant was an incredible machine. With its refined, yet still aggressive exterior design cues from Porsche, such as the large rear wing and sports car-like rims that were hiding under fat wheel arches until recently seen on Audi's latest models like TT Spider or Lego Speed Champions among others, this luxury vehicle had it all. Inside you'll find Recaro seats up front alongside Quattro GmbH brakes rotors. Inside also comes equipped with 6-speed manual transmission which gives drivers plenty of options when deciding how fast they want to go without having any regrets about not choosing wisely after hearing those powerful engines bark out requests at top volume through tight turns while butterly gliding down straightaways. Number 4. Jaguar CX75. The CX75, a revolutionary car that was to change the landscape of performance cars forever with its 4 electric motors and diesel micro-turbines for power. The Jaguar executives were not happy at all by how successful they thought this new model would be, so when it came out in 1992 world premiere event, where he debuted his groundbreaking vehicle 3 months before launch date. The XJ220 demonstrate just what can happen if you don't put your heart into something, even though I am sure there were plenty who wanted one. The new CX75 is a thing of beauty. Like its predecessor, it has been engineered to be fast and agile with an engine that can't quite keep up but still manages 890 horsepower for 200 miles per hour top speed. This time around, though we go by far less drastic measures as turbines have replaced the engines in favor on small 1 kg twin-charged gasoline motor combined together via 2 electric motors producing 900 plus HP, allowing this supercar hit 60 miles per hour within 3 seconds flat. Cosworth provides all parts needed. Jaguar announced a limited production of the CX75 from 2013 to 2015 with an all-electric range greater than 50 kilometers, 31 miles. The plan was for 250 cars in partnership with Williams Advanced Engineering, but after announcement by Jaguar's board on December 2012 they cancelled this project due to global economic crisis at time when there were no buyers or financing available. Number 3. Honda Acura NSX. Honda and Acura has been trying to break into the supercar market for years now. They had 2 failed attempts with their most recent release of an all-electric car known as NSX, which was released in 2016 and uses a hybrid powertrain consisting of 3 electric motors producing 600 horsepower backed up by its mid-engine 6 agenda-loving V8 twin-turbocharged mill pile driver unit. The NSX party doesn't have to end for Acura and Honda. In 2022, they can still celebrate their 10th anniversary with a limited run of Type S models that are packed full onto the newest design and engineering from Japan's most user-friendly supercar ever made in Ohio using engine blocks provided by Cosworth Northampton facility, while also assembled on site at this historic location, where many other notable vehicles were built such as Ford Model T cars or McLaren F1 supercars, before moving production abroad because it was cheaper back then. However, today we know better than putting pride above saving money, especially when there isn't much left anyway. Let someone else. Honda's iconic NSX sports car has been in production for 30 years now, and to celebrate this feat they commissioned us with the design work on their latest endeavor, a limited edition model that doubles as both an art piece or racer depending upon how you want it used. Aguascalientes is home of some incredible motor racing fans who have patiently awaited news about what would come next following last year's success enjoyed by Fernando Alonso during his world tour using one such vehicle when competing against others internationally without any modifications aside from personal preference, inside-out cabinetry choices, etc. Number 2. Chevrolet Corvette. The 7th generation Corvette is the last model gearheads can buy with a front-engine layout, but that will change in 2017 when Chevrolet switches to mid-engine design. Regardless which power plant you pick, whether it's an LT1 622 horsepower or 650 pounds-foot torque rating driverless car capable of reaching speeds up reach 195 miles per hour on tarmac, the Vette remains one heck of a performance vehicle both inside and out. And if Cosworth isn't enough for your British racing needs? Well, don't worry, because this year saw their return after being gone since 1998. The 2015 model year was a big one for Corvette fans, with many changes to the iconic sports car. For those who love driving on asphalt but want more power from their engine bay, there is good news: an automatic transmission option has been added. The 8L90 gearbox can be found exclusively at GM's Toledo plant, where it replaced our 6-speed unit in all Corvettes just as its predecessors have done before them, both continuously variable transmission systems. This change came alongside other generator-related updates such dual-mode exhaust pipes which now come standard across Z51 models instead of being optional features like they used to. Number 1. Modern-day hypercars. Who doesn't love a good build-up? The choice here is personal taste, but both Aston Martin and Gordon Murray Automotive promise speeds in excess of 200 miles per hour. If you have $3 million plus to spare though, be sure get your hands in either one because they are ultra exclusive. From differing perspectives, these brands approach the ultimate road car differently, with a style opting for track-focused designs, while GMA seeks more modernized refinements like those seen within McLaren F1 vehicles, though at much cheaper prices. Take under hood where each uses Cosworth V12 engines which respectively produce 1,160 horsepower, 6,500 pounds. One of these hypercars is the Aston Martin Valkyrie, which is a one-of-a-kind car that was collaboratively made by top companies in Britain. It's not just any old hybrid sports model, but it has some serious power under its hood and will take you anywhere from 0 to 100 miles per hour within 3 seconds. The other hypercar is a Gordon Murray Automotive Type 50, is an exclusive sports car manufactured by GMA with the help of Formula One designer, Article engineers and powerplant specialists from Cosworth. The T50's naturally aspirated V12 engine has been developed to produce 663 PS, 488 kilowatts, 654 horsepower at 11 kRPM, while providing maximum torque 467 Nm-344 pounds-feet, 3 inches worshipped in 1/4 mile. Thank you for watching, please subscribe.